Hello, good evening everyone. Welcome to today's Holistic Wellness Inner Artist Rhythm. Creating art is often associated with having a natural talent for it, but that isn't always true. You don't have to be Picasso in order to appreciate art and create your own. This COVID 19 has caused a lot of stress and disarray in our lives. Plans have been on hold, careers have been stalled, and has caused all of us here a lot of anxiety and confusion. Today, we will use art as a tool to enable you to map your confusion and anxiety and put it on a paper. A lot has been discussed and said about the healing powers of art. Today, you will all get experience in its comfort zone at your home. Bring out your art tools and settle in as I introduce our facilitator. Today, we have here with us Ms. Icha Ban. She is the counselor, remedial educator for Glendale EduFund and Glendale International School of Cambridge. She is also a cognitive hypnotic life coach, NLP practitioner, Infinite Youth Global Coordinator, and former Brighter Minds facilitator. Her hobbies include playing the ukulele and singing. Music is her way to connect with herself with others. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Rutva, for such a warm introduction. It always takes me by surprise each time. Um, so today we're going to do something that I've been really wanting to do for a long time. And just give me a minute. I'm going to present my screen just to get us started.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we're going to do something called Inner Artist. We've named it this way because each of us have our own set of skills, but whatever we create is our own version of art. So we're also now going to experiment with one of the mediums of art, which is visual arts. And we're going to see how to use it in to kind of heal or to understand more about ourselves. So without further ado, just to let you know a little bit about how the event is going to go on today, what we're going to do. So we're going to have a brief introduction about what the activity is, and why it's important and what it can be used for. Then we're going to go on to setting an intention for this activity. We'll then dive into the actual activity itself, which is called an intuitive painting. So we're going to do that. And then in the end, we'll have a little section for reflection and feedback after the activity. So all of these things that have been part of this event are important. They all serve a little purpose. And I'm so excited to go through this with everybody today. So thank you for joining. So before we get into the introduction, I just want to get to know. I want to get to know all of you because that's just it makes it for a nice interaction. So to do this, please log on to www.menti.com in your browser and type in the code here. I can repeat the code. You can even scan the QR code to get redirected to the question immediately. But for whoever is joining from their laptop, the code is 34043819. Once again, the code is 34043819. We just have a couple of questions to start the session. So I guess we'll have the results up in a bit.
Let's see how our audiences are feeling.
Absolutely. And every time I do a session, I really like to get to know the audience a little bit as much as we possibly can. So, great. So I've actually wanted to do this for a while, and I'm so excited I get to, take this activity through.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So we have a lot of positive emotions coming up. We'll wait for some more. So once again, if you need the code, it is 34043819. Right. So there's this question, and then there's another one as well. So we have two. I think we'll
Show off the
I'm
results.
Rutva, how are you feeling today?
Amazing, excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great. I'm so glad. I'm also excited. I'm also a little nervous, but I guess that's good. A
yeah,
little bit of nervousness is good. I think we can move to the next question.
yes.
So what is your favorite art form? Rutva, what is yours?
Hmm, simple pastel colors.
Okay, so you enjoy looking at colors and stuff, right? So
Yeah,
would that be in the form of a painting or like an animated movie?
animated movie for sure.
All right. Um,
What's for
right.
you?
Mine is music. I wish I could like really paint like an artist, but it's not like that. But I really enjoyed, just kind of putting on some colors and just creating something out of something completely random. So abstract stuff. All right. So the Menti answers can keep coming in as we go. Um, we can we can stop presenting, Charan. That's all right. I'll present my screen so we can get started.
Yeah,
Uh, all right. So thank you to everybody who responded to that. All right. So moving on, I just want to take a minute to explain why this activity that we're going to do matters and what it can help with. So if you see the circle around, this is basically a very skeleton basic outline of our mind. So we have our conscious mind, we have this band in the middle, and which is called the critical filter. And then we have our unconscious mind. So the critical filter is actually that it acts like a barrier, right? So it's got all our ideas, our experiences, all the things that we've learned from our life, our inhibitions, fears, the little things that cause us self-doubt, right? So they're all there to protect it from going deeper into our mind and staying there, right? But in when you're doing something like art, whether it is painting, whether it is playing a piece of music, whatever you are engrossed in, it takes you into a state of flow. And that in that moment is where the critical filter is quiet. So your conscious and your unconscious or subconscious rather are aligned. They are one, right? So you can sort of whatever you're doing there is coming from a very authentic place of you. It's coming from a very authentic side to you, right? You're tapping into your inner self in that moment. So for this activity, what we're going to do is we're going to do the intention setting part, which will quieten the critical filter a little, just so you can sort of be aligned with yourself and create what you want to sort of deal with or accomplish through this intuitive artwork or this intuitive painting that we're doing. So that's why the intention setting is really important. Once we get into the activity, we'll have about 30 minutes of the intuitive painting, and then we'll get into the feedback. That's where this activity is coming from. That's the flow of today's program.
yeah.
Um,
So,
so
Icha,
what
you are ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Yes. So
Uh,
if you could all just get your art supplies
what?
together, I'll
I
stop
have
sharing.
mine.
Yeah, I have mine too.
Yeah,
So I'm going to be using my watercolors, very simple palette, and I have a few brushes here that I will use. And I've got my mug of water to
yeah.
clean it. All right.
Yeah,
So
so let's begin and make this feel wonderful. Quite learn and interactive session.
Absolutely. So if you could all just settle into a comfortable position and we'll start the intention setting. All right. Just give me a minute. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So just settle into a comfortable position. Close your eyes gently. Notice the sensations in your body as the position you sit in supports you. As you notice these sensations, take a deep breath. As you take a deep breath, you may notice that the body starts to feel more relaxed. Our body tends to take slower breaths as we feel more and more relaxed. Allow this feeling of relaxation to spread throughout your body. Let the sensations move like ripples and spread to every muscle. As you start to feel more relaxed, bring your attention to your heart and ask yourself this question. Ask your inner self, what do I need to know to move closer to my best self? Once you have asked your inner self, what do I need to know to move closer to my best self? Stay with that thought for a few seconds. Let it sit within you. Bring your attention to your hand that you are going to create with. Notice the sensations. Is it a vibration? Do you feel a little bit of, do you feel waves? Notice how your hand is feeling, whether it feels light or heavy. Follow my voice and repeat these words to yourself now. Today, I am getting in touch with the most authentic part of myself, a part of myself that wants to help me reach where I want to be. I am ready to hear my inner self. Through this activity, I am going to let my hand and heart guide me. I allow myself to receive what I need to know and give permission to myself to reveal any insights through this painting. As these intentions set in, let that faith and belief comfort you. Sit with these intentions for a few seconds. Let the comfort, the support, and the love spread and guide you to be able to reveal all the things that you need to know to become your best self. Gently rub your palms together whenever you feel ready. Feel the warm sensations in your hands and gently put them on your eyes. Whenever you feel ready, open them and pick your paintbrush or color pencils up. All right. Thank you for going through that. Um,
It was amazing.
I'm so glad. All right. So you must have felt those sensations in your hand, the one that you're going to paint with. So you can just, all you need to do is pick your paintbrush up, all right? Have a look at all the colors, right? Take a moment and just hover your paintbrush or hover your hand over your colors, all right? And just see which one is calling to you. Which color is your hand taking you to? Allow your hand to move and pick a color. My hand is going towards a dark blue, almost black color. Rutva, where is your hand going?
I took the pink crayons.
You took the pink crayons.
Yeah. It feels so light.
That's so great. You know, that happens sometimes when you focus on something and you're ready to kind of go for it with that objective in mind, it takes you there. So now that you have your color on your paintbrush or the color in your hand, look at the page and see where you feel like starting and which direction you feel like going in. Let your hand guide you and let it take you where you need to go. Go slow, it doesn't need to be too quick. Whatever stroke feels nice or feels like, okay, this is satisfying something in my hand, that's where you go. Allow yourself just to play with the colors and play with the page. Okay. Just this is basically your canvas, and you can be as experimental with it. There's no it doesn't need to look pretty, it doesn't need to be the best piece of art, you just need to express yourself on there.
Icha, I had one question. Can
Yes.
we switch the color?
Yes, absolutely. If you feel like this color, if you feel like you're done with this color, you can go ahead, look at your set and see which one appeals to you. In fact, I'm actually planning to change my color too. So
Yeah, I also did.
you can do that.
I had the one another question also. Like why everyone reacts differently to different colors?
So that's a really good question, Rupa. So if you look at it in terms of color psychology, right? They have very vague general feelings and emotions and concepts that are related to these colors, right? Um, but the fact that we humans are same but yet so different with our ideas, our perspectives, our beliefs, right? Some things appeal to us more. So if I were to ask you, Rupa, what's your favorite color?
Black.
Black, right? Mine is pink and orange.
Okay.
So something or the other appeals to you, and it's just based on personal choice.
Okay.
Sometimes you may feel your hand twitch, and if it's twitching, maybe it's your hand telling you to go in a different direction. So just see where that twitch takes you. Okay. I used to want to sketch and draw and paint when I was younger, but I just never had the confidence to do it. And then one day I realized that you don't really need to be perfect to make art. So it can be It can be sloppy, it can be pretty, it can be simple. It's still art, right? It's
Yeah,
something you created.
definitely. I agree on this.
So, I'm the kind of person who doesn't like yellow, but I've just picked yellow up. You know? Okay. You can just figure out where your hand is trying to take you. You can literally do anything, whatever color you feel like. If you want to spray the paint over, you can. If you want to just scribble in one corner, you can. Whatever sensation, whatever stroke makes your hand feel like, okay, this feels good. That's what you can do.
I'm enjoying this thing.
Yeah, I'm so
Yes.
glad.
I always had this self doubt on myself that I couldn't do good with colors and everything. But
Yeah.
right now I'm feeling like, yeah, I'm the Pablo Picasso.
Yeah, that's true. I felt like that too. And literally right now in my for my painting, I'm not understanding what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it. Like to
Same
me
goes
right
with
now,
me.
yeah, it doesn't appeal to me at all. But who knows, by the end of the painting it may.
You will do great. You will create something good out of it.
So will you. And the best part about it is it'll give you some sort of insight
Yes.
towards the end.
I have one more question. Like, why the normal painting is more preferred? Like, what's the difference between this therapeutic exercise and normal painting?
Oh, so that's a brilliant question. So when you let's say if you just feel like painting, right? It's a hobby that you enjoy. So you just say, okay, let me just see what happens. Let me just paint. So that's brilliant. That's an expression of who you are, right? That's an expression of what you're doing, and that's an expression of your creativity. And it's very, very satisfying. The difference between doing it as a hobby or a profession and doing it as a therapeutic exercise is that there is usually an objective to it, right? There's an objective. We set an intention. We wanted to see what we can do to reach our best self. Um, so, with that intention in mind, the intention setting activity put us in some kind of a flow state, or it put us into a state where we could really access our authentic self to understand. So essentially, through this, we are talking to our subconscious, you
Okay.
know, because we're trying to get it to reveal something to us.
It's wonderful. I never knew something like this also exists. And it's
Yeah,
making me feel so happy. Like, yeah, I'm doing whatever I want.
yeah, exactly. And there's no pressure, there's no sense of judgment. It just
Yeah,
is. It
yeah.
just is. See, like, I feel like right now I have messed up on one area of my painting.
It just like take me back to my memories and my childhood. When we
Yeah,
were kids, no one used to judge like what type of drawing or color we are going to put.
exactly, exactly. And that's the idea, right? It should be fun. You shouldn't have to feel like, you know,
Burden on ourselves
yeah,
to be perfect or something.
absolutely. So if you want, I can actually show you how my painting is going. So
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can get an idea. It's not very good, but it's not
Mine,
very good in the sense that it's a little chaotic.
mine
But
can be worse.
so this is how it's going so far. It doesn't need to look like, like a piece of
But
perfect art. It just needs to be something that you're kind of getting out on paper.
this is mine.
Oh, that's brilliant, Rutva. Wow.
I'm just playing with wires and I don't know why.
And My favorite part about this is usually when you're doing this activity, right? You kind of understand what it's trying to tell you, but when you actually for sit to reflect, something or the other comes out to you, and you're just like, oh, this is what it was.
Yeah.
Time I've done this activity maybe 3, 4 times, and I've never picked up so much purple before. I wonder why that's happening.
Yeah. Sometimes it's happen like it is not my hand, it's my mind working. Like even I
Yeah,
try that, no, mind, please stop, don't start thinking. But
yeah,
it's like happening. Do we have a
yeah.
solution or something like trick or something
No,
to keep my let it
no.
go?
So all you need to do is just ask yourself. Just ask yourself. So this is happening with me as well at the moment. So whenever this happens, I look at the colors and I say, okay, which one do you feel like picking up? What's the first color that comes to your head? Don't think. First one, even if you're not happy with the outcome, it's okay. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
So don't give yourself time to think. Just be like, okay, what's the first color I should pick up? And for some reason, I got peach. So I'm gonna go with peach. Also, a lot of the times, what happens is sometimes when you're painting, when you're doing this activity, right? You try and think, okay, what could this mean? What is this trying to tell me? There's no
Yeah.
point doing that because the image is not complete yet. So
Yes.
try and bring yourself back when that thought comes out, because
And wait for the end.
yeah,
Then we'll figure out what was created by us.
yeah, exactly. Oh no. Is there is there something that you've always wanted to do in terms of art? Is there something that you've wanted to experiment with?
I wanted to always do this. To
Yeah.
paint without any judgment.
Well, I'm glad you get the chance to do that.
Yes, just because of you.
Oh no.
It's making me feel so happy. Like it's my
Yeah.
paper, my colors, do whatever I want.
Yeah, and it's actually very freeing. It's very freeing because you know that this is just for yourself. There's nothing you need to
Yes.
do with it.
Yes.
Allow yourself to just do whatever you feel like, because without the sense of like, oh, is this right? Am I doing it the right way? Don't think about all of that. That is just your critical filter.
Yes. Can you tell me the benefits for this?
Absolutely. So, the biggest benefit of this is that it's a way to release what you're feeling in a non-threatening way,
Yeah.
right? Because you're playing with mediums that, again, you're playing with this in a space that's completely yours, in a way that's freeing you, right? So you're in a way you're releasing things that you may not even know you're releasing through this, right? Also, it's something when you look at all the colors, sometimes it may seem confusing, but ultimately when you're putting down colors, it's not scary, it's not daunting, Because
Yeah.
just like, it's okay. Whatever is coming, let it come. Right. So you're releasing your emotions. It builds resilience. Right. You're dealing with things that you may not even be aware that it's messing with you or something is upsetting you. And you're just kind of putting it out all on paper.
Yeah. So this
So
may help in releasing stress and make us
absolutely.
calm.
Yeah. And you could do it in different ways. So you could play, when you're doing this on your own, you can play music that relaxes you, music that makes you feel like you're in a good place, right? And maybe switch on a candle or two, you know,
Yeah.
just create your space, get comfortable, and then just dive into it. It's a beautiful technique.
I'm definitely going to do this whenever I feel stressed up or
Yeah. This is also the first time I'm using a watercolor sheet, so all my paints are looking really different. I'm not used to it. I'm still, you're using watercolors. Sometimes when I don't know what else to do, I just take some water and I'll kind of wet the sheet a little bit and just let the colors bleed and see what happens.
does the type of color affect like watercolor or crayon or something? Or is it all the same?
So if you use crayons, obviously it won't get the same effect as the watercolors, but you can kind of make it your own and you can do whatever you feel like. It doesn't really matter what you choose as long as you're getting something out on paper. That's the important part.
My
Think.
page is almost full.
Yeah.
Yes. See?
Wow. Whenever you feel like there's really not much more you can add, you're done with your intuitive painting, just by the way. Whenever you feel like when you look at it and say, okay, this makes sense, I'm not able to add anything more or I can't think of anything to add, you're done.
If you're not satisfied by one page, we can do more.
Yeah, you can. That's completely up to you. It's a it's really and it's good time pass more than anything, you get it.
It actually occupies our mind in that
It does.
place.
And this that state is called a flow state.
Yeah.
It's called a flow state, and it really, like, it takes you to a place where you feel you're so engrossed in what you're doing, and that's what takes you forward.
Yes. This type of activities really need to be put in our daily life.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are so busy with all our stuff, either school, college, work, everything. We are
Yeah,
just in a
and
hurry.
we're in a hurry. We're always hustling,
Yeah.
and this is a good way to wind down. You're absolutely right.
I would definitely recommend this thing to my friends, family, everyone who has not joined us.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, and now that you've done this yourself, it's very easy to kind of do it on your own now.
Yeah.
It's a technique you can use whenever you feel like it.
Whenever we are bombarded by things, just take colors and start doing it.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest, at the starting, I was also a little bit nervous, but now I'm so happy
Yeah.
after doing this. I'm like calm, composed.
I'm, it's what you, I mean, I'm just so glad that that's the effect that it's had.
Yeah.
Maybe who knows, maybe you got your nervousness out on the paper.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a that's an intense painting that I've done, I think so.
Show me, show me, show me.
So I am also almost done with this. Yeah, I think I'm almost done.
Eagerly waiting to see.
Okay. It's really this is like the I think my intuitive painting is the perfect poster child or poster product to say that art doesn't need to be pretty. It just is. Um, all right. Oh, the colors are still bleeding a little.
Let them flow. Our like we are flowing. Let them also flow.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That felt kind of cool to use my hands. Let's not. Um, right. So basically, what it does is
Yeah.
when you're working on something artistic, it could be anything. It could be words. Maybe you're writing poetry, or you're writing songs, or you're painting, or you're uh, it could be anything. Or let's say if you're trying to learn a new skill, right? Like if you're trying to learn how to play an instrument, or learn how to sketch or draw, or just start experimenting, what's happening is your brain are making new connections. Your brain is making new connections through this activity, right? So what you're doing is you're creating new neural pathways in the mind, right? So you're technically expanding your um, horizons, and as Stephen Covey likes to say, you're sharpening your saw. Right?
Oh,
It's a different skill that you're using. um, and also when you do something like this, you're using a lot of different faculties, right? You're working on your observational skills, you're focusing on the sensations, you're painting with an intent to do something, right? So all of these things interconnect and they weave together to create this immersive, relaxing, calm experience, and your thoughts kind of settle down by the end of it, which is why it's really good for stress and anxiety. Other things you can do is, they have these like adult coloring books. I have maybe
yeah.
2 or 3 of them in my cupboard. So this is something that I, use with uh, uh, very frequently.
I also
Um,
have one.
yeah, and if you notice when you start coloring, right, it takes a long time. You need patience,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So
We
there are
just can't start and take color and start doing it.
exactly, you need a little bit of patience, and you kind of it's you're sort of dealing with things without realizing, and you're just in that flow state and you're so immersed. And really that feeling or that state, that mental state, is very, very important for you to have. It's like getting some time for yourself in the midst of all of this hustle bustle and confusion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why art is a very, very powerful tool, right? It can really, from the inside, it can reveal things to yourself. Um, so I'll quickly show you my my painting. It is this.
Oh,
So it looks a little incomplete, but it's just a blah of stuff, basically. It's just a
yeah.
lot of things that I've put down there. And while I was doing it, while I was painting this, I could not for the life of me understand what it was trying to say, but I kind of get it now. Kind of. Something is striking out to me,
Yeah.
right? So this is where I'm at with my um painting.
This is wonderful. Full of colors.
It's full of colors, yeah.
Yes.
And this is interesting actually, Rutva. What do you think? What is your interpretation of this?
There is a mountain, river is flowing by, a sun is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Two types of rays or thoughts or something are just coming
Yeah.
out, and something under the mountain they are playing or
That's a very positive that's a very positive interpretation of this.
yeah.
So,
What did you interpret it from that?
I I'm realizing now that there's a lot of things I kind of have to kind of deal with. So basically for me is is just kind of representing that look, you're at this phase in your life and this is like a lot of chaos. There's a lot of chaos there.
Yeah.
And there is this foundation of something that's probably holding me back. I don't know, but I need to cross this. Or I need to get out of this to feel the positive stuff.
Oh,
Right? So that's that's what I think this is trying to tell me. Now, anything in specific about how to reach my best self would probably be to break this down, to break this mountain down.
yeah.
Um,
You will do it soon. You are
yeah,
doing right now also.
absolutely. I'm working towards it. You're very right. You're very correct. Um, all right. So, can we move to the next part of it?
Yeah.
Are we good to go?
Let us know in the comment box if you have some
Yes.
doubts or something.
All right. So I'm gonna share my screen again. Um, okay. So basically, I wanted, although the event is being streamed on YouTube and everything, I wanted some interaction, which is why the feedback session is,
Important.
yeah. So when we do an art therapy exercise, right? When we do a therapeutic exercise with art, it could be anything. It's important to kind of reflect on it, because once you get it out, you also need something to kind of tell you that you're going, you're moving forward. You need some kind of feedback. So in order to do this, I have tried to incorporate a different way to kind of share feedback. um, so we're using a platform called Padlet. So wherein we have two boards, we'll go one board at a time, and I will be posting as well. Um, I'll take you to the first one. So we have the first one, which is a gallery board. So we have a link that you can access through your laptop, but I think it'll be easier if you scan the QR code, because it'll take you directly to the board. Once you scan the QR code, it'll take you to the Padlet, and you can there'll be a plus button on the bottom right of the page. You can click that, take a photo of your artwork, and please do share it with us. We would love to see it, because after this is when we do the question answers and stuff like that. So a little bit of a deeper, a more in-depth reflection. So I will be doing the same. If you could take a minute just to click a photo, scan the QR code, and you can post it onto Padlet. So I'm gonna be doing the same. Rutva, you can do it too.
Yeah. The website is padlet.com, right?
Yeah, there's a link that I had sent, so we can put that in the chat box. but
Okay.
it will be easier if you use the QR code, because it'll go directly from your phone. It'll be easier to um, upload your photo like that. So
Okay, done.
I'm just gonna click a photo. It's a little dark, but and I will also scan the QR code. Oh wow, we've got uh people responding on the Padlet. I love it. So I'll just scan this and I'll put mine up, and then I'll share the Padlet.
Yeah, I'm also excited to see.
Yeah, I'll share it with you.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna upload it. Give me a minute. Okay.
There are some wonderful
Yeah,
pictures.
I'm very excited to share this. Okay. Um, so once okay. So once I take you to the second board, I'll start presenting the gallery board. So while
Wow.
that's happening, you can put in your responses, right? So in case somebody needs the uh, QR code. It's also I actually, my favorite part about an activity like this is to share what I've done and learn from other people and see how our perspectives differ.
Yeah.
It's just the most interesting thing to me ever. I
Yes.
I really enjoy that process. I'm
Everyone interprets differently.
absolutely, absolutely. And you never know, something may stick out to someone, and they may be able to make more sense out of it. Like, I remember the first intuitive painting I did. I could not understand what it's trying to say. And I remember showing it to people, and the kind of interpretations that they came out with was it was outstanding. I
Yeah.
was just mind blown, because what they said to me about my painting made more sense to me than what I was thinking, which is
Yes,
so strange.
exactly. Yeah.
So strange. Okay. So are we good to move to the second Padlet?
Yeah. Let's move.
Okay. So here's the second Padlet that has a series of questions. There are I think there are four questions on there, 4, 5 questions on there. You don't need to put in too much, but a little bit would be nice, because it kind of allows you to sit with what you've created, and you never know what strikes out to you when you're sitting and sort of pondering over it. Um, so just it's a safe space. Nobody else can access it apart from you all who have the QR code or the link. Um, so please feel free to just be as authentic as you can. I can, until then, start sharing the Padlet.
Yes.
Give me a second. I'll just open it up and okay. Oh, we've got 3, 4 on there. Hopefully we'll get some more in eventually.
Yeah.
So let me just share it. So this is oh great, we can click on it. All right. So we've got this, which is totally fine. So I've actually done this once as well. I've scribbled on my paper and I have made just lines in different ways just to make sense of what's
Yeah.
going on. This is our very own Rutvas. She showed it to us. This is
Yes.
beautiful. I can, I myself interpret something else out of this probably. I don't know. And then that's mine. And I love this. Myra's done a beautiful job. And it's just so lovely when you look at it, no?
Yes.
Just such a
It makes us
soothing.
happy, a smiling face comes out.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Um, we can actually now, hopefully, there will be more coming in. We can move
Yeah,
on to the next one, which is the
reflection one.
reflection.
Yes.
Yeah. And we've got some really nice responses. So, Rutva, how are you feeling now?
Happy, excited.
Happy and
There's
excited.
no nervousness.
Great. So it moved from being nervous to being happy.
Yes.
That's great.
I want a lot of more of it. I definitely want this.
That's great. I'm excited. I would like some more of it too. So I
Yes.
actually love this. Somebody has said, I feel my mind and heart are connected. And that's so important, you know, that it just shows again the power of what just putting simple colors on a piece of paper can do for you, right?
Yeah,
You can feel more closer to who you are. How did
definitely.
you feel throughout the intuitive painting
I was
process?
actually just wondering what outcome will come, what I will do, what this color makes sense to me. I was always thinking about that. But
Yeah,
whenever it went like in the flow, I made some sense out of it. And at the end, yes, I was so happy, super
yeah.
happy right now.
That makes a lot of sense. And I myself, I was a little nervous. I was like, oh no, will this happen properly? Will I be able to sense it? But really, once you get into the flow of it, there's no stopping you. It's
Yes.
just a matter of, it's like a switch.
When it's
Um,
turned on, then yay, you are good to
yeah,
go.
yeah, absolutely. So I love this because I was going through a similar thing because I saw a few things on my painting which I didn't really understand why it's there or what's coming out, but it was coming out, so I went with it. Um, did you get any sort of answer or clarity on what you intended to find out?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes, I did.
That's great. So did the two amazing people who have responded. Thank you for that. um I was impressed too initially, believe me. I was dumbstruck. I was like, well, okay, this worked. I don't know how, but it worked.
Yes.
um all right, and what is your biggest takeaway?
Be calm, be composed. There's nothing to hurry in this life. Take time out of yourself, sit with yourself, think what you are thinking, and just play with the colors. No one is going to judge you in this world. Even
that
if they are going to, let them.
that's just such a joyful thing to experience, no, this
Yeah.
feeling.
How
No
did you?
wonder you're so happy.
Yeah, you can see on my face.
Yeah. And you know what? I love both these responses because it's really interesting to see that something so simple can help you sort of distance yourself from what's going on in your mind. There are things that once you get into it, it doesn't shout at you anymore. You're not getting thoughts constantly because
Yeah,
your focus is somewhere else.
definitely.
And
It
I
just takes,
abs
yeah,
yeah,
sis.
no, I absolutely love this. Your hands are also a way of expression of your heart. I think that's beautiful. Like
Yeah,
that is, it's such a simple thing that we tend to forget. Um, but it's something as simple that brings you back
yes.
to the simplicity of it. So thank you. And did you enjoy the session, Rutva? Which you did. Thank you so much. And I really hope we get a chance to do this and
Well,
again, and maybe we can come up with newer activities or something different.
we have you. We can have many more sessions for this.
Thank you. Oh, and we have some more responses here. So hopefully we'll get some more in. So for everybody watching, once you fill out the reflection and the gallery, we will be featuring this on the Holistic Wellness page for everybody to see if you're okay with that. So please do share your work with us. You don't have to put your name in if you don't want to, but it would be nice. But again, that's completely up to you and it's your decision.
Yeah.
Um,
Whenever you are comfortable, just share with us.
Yes, please do share it with us, and we would love this will go out on the Holistic Wellness page, and it'll be nice to see all your responses.
Yeah.
So,
It's I wanted to ask, what was your biggest takeaway?
what was my biggest takeaway?
Yeah.
Um, I think my biggest takeaway is that there are so many times where we put so much pressure on ourselves to kind of get the perfect result or get something that looks nice or get something that for sure that this is what it's trying to say to you. But sometimes that's not always the most important thing. Sometimes it's important enough, the fact that you were able to put it down on paper is sometimes the more important thing. The fact that you could bring it out of yourself and um somewhere. So I think my biggest takeaway is to not hope and keep feeling like, okay, everything needs to be perfect or everything needs to be planned out or everything needs to be in a structure. I think I can just kind of take it as and when it happens, go with the flow. That's
Yeah.
my biggest takeaway,
Wonderful.
I think. Yeah. If anybody would like the QR code or would like to access the Padlet, we have the QR code and we have a link, so we can share that link across to you on the chat box, whichever you are, whichever platform you're watching on. Um, but really, thank you so much to everybody who participated. I think the Holistic Wellness team has wanted to do something like this for a really long time, and we finally got the chance to do it. So thank you to
Absolutely.
all who have taken the time out to be a part of this event with
Thank you
us.
to you that you made us feel so happy and excited, calm, composed.
Shruti. It helped me also, to be honest.
Yeah. So, on concluding note, we hope that today's session has enabled all of us to feel lighter, refreshed, and happier. We would like to remind you that you are not alone. All of us are one large community, and it is during the times like this we are stronger together. Thank you for taking time to participate in today's event, and we hope you like this experience. Team Holistic Wellness is grateful for all of you for joining us. Please follow Infinite Youth on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and please follow the Holistic Wellness Facebook page as well. Take care, stay healthy, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.